All right. Well, hey everyone. Welcome to the next generation of Geo-Compliance solutions. My name's Nick Patrick. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Radar. Radar is a geolocation platform. We work with hundreds of companies, both inside and outside of gaming. Outside of gaming, we work with companies like Panera Bread, Dick's Sporting Goods, Zillow, T-Mobile. Inside of gaming, we work with companies like Sleeper, Every, ExpressBet, Baller Sportsbook, and many more. Gaming is a new vertical for us, so really excited to be here today and talk about why we're so excited about the opportunity in gaming, our approach to geolocation in the gaming space, and what our vision is for the next generation of geo-compliance solutions. It's awesome to be here in New York. I've lived in New York for 12 years. Radar is headquartered in New York. Met my co-founder at Foursquare, which is one of the early location-based apps. Do we have any ex-Foursquare users in the audience? Current Foursquare users? None. Cool. Well, anyway, really excited to be here. I want to start with a story. Some of you may have seen me give a similar talk at G2E, and at that talk, I talked a lot about Stripe. A lot of you probably know Stripe is a payments platform, a payments API. Today they call themselves financial infrastructure for the internet. And I drew some parallels to Stripe's entry into the payment space to Radar's entry into the gaming space with geolocation. And Stripe really set themselves apart on developer friendliness, simple and fair pricing, more seamless end user experiences when it came to accepting payments online, better support. They eventually expanded outside of payments and supported more use cases, and ultimately more choice. There weren't a ton of options to accept payments online when Stripe launched. There was kind of PayPal, or you could set up a legacy merchant account with a bank, and that was sort of it. And so my argument was that the next generation of geo-compliance solutions was going to be similar. The next generation of geo-compliance solutions would be developer-friendly with open source SDKs and really developer-friendly documentation, simple and fair pricing, enabling more seamless player experiences, better support, more use cases supported outside of just geo-compliance, and then finally, more choice. And we've talked to dozens of operators and vendors and regulators over the last couple of years, and I think they all agree that there needs to be more choice when it comes to geolocation in the gaming space. So last time I talked about Stripe, I wanted to talk about a different company today, which is Amazon. And obviously, Amazon is a global behemoth today, and all sorts of different selling all sorts of different products and services. But they started as a humble bookseller, and from there they expanded into new products, new verticals. They expanded into music and then clothing, and obviously all sorts of other services outside of e-commerce, AWS, etc. And when they initially expanded to new products and verticals, they had some doubters. Their competitors said things like, "Hey, we're laser focused on books. Books are unique. Books are different. Their prices are unsustainably low." Amazon offered things like free shipping, free returns. Folks said Amazon will never be profitable. They're going to have to raise their prices eventually. But Amazon, wasn't afraid to do things differently. I think they proved a lot of those folks wrong. And from their beginnings as a humble bookseller, I think became the best in the world at efficiency and scale, offering the lowest prices, making it really easy to purchase books online, customer orientation, customer obsession, and then working with third-party sellers on their marketplace to expand their reach. So I wanted to talk a bit about each of these things and then draw some parallels to geolocation in the gaming space. So Amazon built some incredible technology, an incredible supply chain when they started selling books, everything from sourcing to warehousing to distribution. They got really good at handling massive amounts of data, massive volumes of books and SKUs, and they got really, really efficient. And that efficiency enabled them to offer low prices, things like free shipping, free returns. They got really good at processing all this data for personalization. Back when Amazon launched, a lot of folks were still reluctant to purchase things online. So they made it really easy to purchase. They innovated with things like one-click checkout. And to this day, customer obsession is one of Amazon's core values. So Amazon obviously paid attention to their competitors, but they weren't afraid to do things differently, to enter new spaces. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Amazon, whether it's low prices or efficiency, all the things they did were really in service of building customer trust. So Radar is not Amazon, but I think there are some parallels for the way that we think about our entry into the geo-compliance space in gaming. And I just wanted to talk a bit about how we think about these things and why we think this approach represents the next generation of geo-compliance solutions. So efficiency and scale, offering really low and we believe fair prices, ease of purchase, and really I think when it comes to geolocation solutions, ease of integration, or if you're using an existing geo-compliance solution, ease of migration. Again, customer obsession, and maybe less third-party sellers and marketplace, but extending our reach through resellers and channel partners. So Radar's been around for almost a decade. We announced the general availability of our geo-compliance solution at G2E last year. We've been really overwhelmed by the reception since then. I mentioned we work with a ton of companies outside of the gaming space, Panera, Dick's Sporting Goods, Zillow, T-Mobile. Our vision as a company is location infrastructure for every product and service. So that means gaming, it means restaurants, it means retail, it means logistics, it means payments, real estate, et cetera. And, just like when Amazon entered new verticals and started selling new products, they had some doubters. We have some doubters as well. I think if you listen to our competitors, they'll say, Radar's a retail geofencing platform. We're laser focused on gaming. Their prices are sort of unbelievably, unsustainably low. They're going to have to raise prices eventually. And, I would argue that they're wrong. And I wanted to talk a little bit about our approach to proving them wrong. We power some really cool geolocation use cases outside of gaming. A lot of our retail customers work with us to geofence stores and understand when you walk into a store, when you open the app in a store. We power the store mode for the Dick's Sporting Goods app. A lot of our restaurant customers use our technology to understand when customers are approaching or arriving for an order ahead. So we can say, the customer's 5 minutes out, 10 minutes out, pulling into the parking lot, pulling into the drive-through, walking up to the register. And I think this translates really well to gaming. If you can understand when somebody's in a store, in a particular part of the store, you can understand which country or state they're in. You can understand if they're in a casino. You can understand which part of the casino you're in. You can understand if they're in a sports stadium, et cetera. And so we fundamentally see these as geofencing challenges. We believe we're the best in the world at geofencing. We've really spent the last 8 years pushing the limits of what's possible with location services in terms of accuracy and efficiency and reliability. So everything from really hyper-accurate geofencing to place visit detection, country and state detection, Bluetooth beacon detection for indoor and land-based use cases, and location spoofing detection. The other thing we've invested a lot in is some really powerful tools for visualizing and reporting and alerting on location data, and I think that translates really well to back office needs inside of gaming. So we brought all of this together in our geo-compliance solution. We can detect dozens of forms of location spoofing, all the standard checks, GPS spoofing, proxy and VPN usage, device compromise like rooting or jailbreaking, et cetera. We can detect your current jurisdiction, help you comply with geo requirements in that jurisdiction. We support custom geofences, Bluetooth beacon detection, Wi-Fi based detection for indoor and land-based use cases. One thing that we do that I think is really unique in the space, which I'm super excited about, is we have out-of-the-box place polygons for every Walmart, every McDonald's in the United States, but also every sports stadium, every casino, all sorts of other types of places as well. So we can detect if you're, walking into MetLife Stadium or opening the app in MSG, or if you're at, the Hard Rock Casino or whatever. Powerful back office capabilities and support for iOS, Android, desktop, and web. In terms of the way we think about some parallels to Amazon and how we're doing things differently, we enter the space with a lot of efficiency and existing scale. So, I've seen some public stats that the big incumbent in geolocation and gaming processed something like 40 billion location pings the other year. We processed 100 billion API calls. We're installed on over 100 million devices, and we handle traffic spikes like the Super Bowl every week. And so we've really optimized the heck out of our location infrastructure, and that's one of the reasons we can offer really low pricing. Our infrastructure is hyper efficient. Our margins are great, and we typically end up being somewhere between 50 to 90% cheaper than the geolocation alternatives. We also price a little bit differently. We've always priced our technology not based on the number of location pings that we're processing, but based on what we call monthly tracked users. So monthly active players opted into location services, and for folks who have sort of spikier seasonal usage, we can normalize that. So we find that's easier to forecast. You can ping as often as you want. If you're using location for compliance and you want to also understand when somebody walks into a casino or when somebody's at a stadium or when somebody's traveling, you can turn that on at no additional cost. At our core and our DNA, we think of ourselves as a developer tool. So we focus on ease of integration and also migration if you're using an existing geolocation tool. Really unique in the space for us is we have open developer docs, we have self-serve sign-up, open source SDKs, so anybody can sign up for Radar and kind of understand how our product works and get their hands on our tech. And again, mentioned Stripe at the beginning. We think of ourselves like a Stripe for geolocation. I think as folks become more tech forward, teams become tech forward, they're going to be looking for these types of great developer experiences when they choose new tools to integrate. We're also very customer driven when it comes to our product roadmap. We think of ourselves more as a partner than a vendor. Customer trust is very, very important to us. I would say that's something that we differentiate ourselves on. And also we're thinking about ways that we can increase our reach by working with resellers and channel partners. Partnerships have always been a big part of our strategy. We integrate with all sorts of different platforms. So we're thinking about ways that we can bundle our geolocation offering into other services. So I would say if you're a vendor or a consultant out there and you want to be able to provide geolocation services to your customers, we'd love to chat, and we have some exciting stuff that hopefully we'll be able to announce soon there. So coming up on time here, we have a growing roster of gaming customers, DFS apps, sports books, other vendors, sweepstakes, horse betting. There's a lot more in the works, which we'll be announcing soon. We've been really overwhelmed by the demand since we launched at G2E last year. We're licensed in a handful of jurisdictions today. We have licenses pending in another 10, and my goal is to get up at G2E or by the end of the year and say that we're licensed as a vendor in every jurisdiction where online sports betting is legal. So that's our vision for the next generation of geo-compliance solutions in gaming. We're really excited to be here, and if you have any questions or you'd like to chat with us or learn more, feel free to visit us. We're at booth 5 out there, or you can visit us online at radar.com. Thanks, everyone.